Hello, and welcome back to the season finale of CougZone. I'm your host, Jed Heckert.
And I'm your co-host, Eli Winke. With another incredible year of Cougar athletics coming to an end, there is a lot to look back on with our Cougar athletes continuing to shine. Baseball showed some pop in the lineup as well as some dominance with the pitching staff, while men's golf dealt with some adversity in their tournament.
Track and field picked up a couple wins of their own in Spokane. Plus, WSU has finally found a new athletic director. All that and so much more
Right here, only on
CougZone. Cougar baseball returned to Pullman April 6th for a two-game series against 7th-ranked Oregon State. Game 1 was an abysmal outing for the Cougs, losing 18-0 in 7 innings. But senior first baseman Ryan Shawnsby shined in Game 2, driving in 3 runs and a 7-6 upset win for WSU.
The Cougs continued that momentum in their next series where they swept Gardner-Webb in a 3-game set. Redshirt sophomore starting pitcher Nick Lewis pitched a gem in Game 1, holding the Bulldogs to 2 runs over 8 innings in a 3-2 win for the Cougs. In Game 2, senior right-handed pitcher Griffin Smith pitched 6 strong innings and only allowed 3 runs. Shawnsby put the game out of reach for Gardner-Webb, crushing a 3-run bomb in the 5th to earn the Cougs a 7-4 win.
In the finale of the Gardner-Webb series, WSU once again benefited from a quality start from their starting pitcher, with senior Luke Myers allowing 3 runs over 6 innings pitched. In his second start after dealing with a hamstring injury, Trevor Smith smashed a solo home run to put the Cougs on top 5-3.
Wazoo continued their win streak with a 9-3 win over the University of Portland April 13th. Senior outfielder Max Hartman had a dominant performance, going 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a solo shot in the 4th, and 3 RBI. After their 5-game win streak, the Cougs hit a bump in the road in St. George, Utah, dropping an 18-8 7-inning game against Utah Tech.
WSU quickly got back on track, winning a series down in Sin City against UNLV. Game 1 was a good one for the Cougs, winning 13-2 in 8 innings. Lewis once again had a phenomenal start, allowing only 1 run over 7 innings pitched against one of the best offenses in the Mountain West.
The Rebels got their revenge in Game 2, hitting 3 homers off of senior pitcher Griffin Smith in a 12-3 win for UNLV. But in the rubber match of the series, WSU came to play, hitting 3 home runs in a close 9-8 victory for the Cougs. The game was tied at 8 apiece in the top of the 9th until Shawnsby hit the go-ahead shot to put the Cougs on top to close out the game.
One player to highlight over this stretch is junior pitcher August Ritchie, who earned Mountain West Pitcher of the Week honors after earning 2 saves and 3 appearances in the week of April 6th to April 13th. The performance to highlight for Ritchie was an outing against Oregon State, where he threw 2 2/3 hitless innings.
Moving on to tennis, the Cougs swept Seattle University and Portland 4-0 on back-to-back days, April 11th and 12th at home. Before the Cougs matchup against Portland, WSU celebrated their 2 seniors, Ava Alvarez-Sande and Maxine Murphy. As they were playing their final home matches, both seniors displayed their dominance on the court, with easy wins against Seattle U and Alvarez cruising past the competition in both singles and doubles.
WSU then traveled to Santa Clara April 16th and came out with a 4-2 road victory following Maxine Murphy's 8th victory in a row. This win helped maintain the team's 8-game winning streak. With this win, Murphy improves her dual match record to 14-3. Alvarez then came in clutch to win her singles match, giving the victory to the Cougs as she grabbed her 6th consecutive win and improving her dual match record to 15-1.
Washington State then traveled to San Diego April 18th, where Wazoo's win streak came to an end with a 4-0 loss. San Diego came out of the gates hot and were too much for the Cougs to handle to bring their record to 15-7 overall, 7-2 in West Coast Conference play. Sophomore Chisato Kanamaki, freshman Ava Monet Sycamore, and Alvarez's matches were all scratched when San Diego secured the team victory.
Men's golf traveled down to Northern California April 10th through the 12th to compete in the El Macaro Classic. Freshman Dylan Bowenning led Wazoo with an even par 72 on day 1, and the team finished with a score of 5 over par. The Cougs found themselves tied with 2 other schools for 6th place after the first day of play. Day 2 featured less than ideal weather as it was wet and windy on the course. Redshirt junior Ben Borgata and sophomore Dylan Burcham powered through the extreme weather as they each led the team shooting 1 over par on day 2. As the Crimson and Gray shot 7 over, this moved them up 1 spot on the leaderboard, finishing day 2 slotted in 5th place. Day 3 marked the second day in a row that featured harsh rain and wind. The Cougs didn't let the conditions stop them from shooting the second best round in the field of play, as they found themselves 3 over par.
Senior Sam Renner and Bowenning each shot 2 under par on the final day. Bowenning's tournament finish of 1 over par saw him finish at 5th place individually. As a team, Wazoo moved up 1 spot again, finishing the 3-day tournament at 15 over par and tied for 4th place overall. This marks WSU's 3rd straight top 10 finish in a tournament. The Cougs will now look ahead to the WCC Championships held May 1st through the 3rd in Fairfield, California.
As for the women's team, they traveled down to Napa, California, April 6th through the 8th to play in the Chevron Silverado Showdown. This is the Cougs' last match before the West Coast Conference Championships. After day 1, the team was sitting at 13th place, going 17 over par and tied with UW. Senior Hannah Harrison led the Cougs after shooting 4 birdies in the first round to put her 2 over par, with sophomore Grace Rebelski only 1 stroke behind Harrison as she put up 3 birdies herself.
Moving on to day 2, WSU improved their team score by 4 strokes, but fell down 1 spot to sit tied with San Francisco at 14th place. Sophomore Agnes Brink carded the Cougs' best score today, going 1 over par with 3 birdies on the back 9 of the course. Freshman Caitlin Helm carded 3 birdies of her own, falling just 1 stroke behind Brink.
Harrison led the Cougs, posting a 71 on the scorecard and placing 34th overall. Brink closed the last day with 2 birdies and ended the weekend tied 60th. The Cougs ended up placing a disappointing 15th out of a 16-team field.
Track and field picked up 2 wins in Spokane at the Jeff Ron Classic April 10th. Redshirt sophomore Evelina Sitnika led the day with a personal best 4 minutes and 40 seconds to win the 1500, while senior Kalina Narus pulled away for a victory in the 5K with a time of 17 minutes and 42 seconds. Junior Lily Herman also turned in a season best, 2 minutes and 16 seconds in the 800 to place 5th. Junior Nicole Janaska added herself a strong 3rd place finish in the 1500.
Down in Azusa, California, the Cougs opened the Brian Clay Invitational with several impressive personal bests. Sophomore Lauren Hoyt ran 35 minutes and 17 seconds in the women's 10K for a career best. Meanwhile, sophomore Leo Cook clocked a personal best 31 minutes and 21 seconds in the men's 10K.
In the women's 3K steeplechase, sophomore Caroline Jep Korir finished 12th in the invite heat with a time of 10 minutes and 1 second, just 2 seconds off her personal record. Junior Zina Chepto also delivered a strong run in the 10K, placing 13th in the invite division with a time of 33 minutes and 11 seconds.
Washington State rowing fell to Gonzaga for the 2nd straight year at the Folly Cup, with the Bulldogs' first varsity 8 pulling away late to win by about 3 seconds. The race remained tight until the final 500 meters as Gonzaga increased their stroke rate to finish in 7 minutes and 20 seconds, ahead of WSU's by 3 seconds.
The Cougars' second varsity 8 delivered a standout performance, posting the fastest time of the day at 7 minutes and 12 seconds, 13 seconds ahead of Gonzaga. WSU's first varsity 8 featured a new lineup that had only practiced together the day before the regatta, though head coach Jane Reviere says there were no excuses for the loss.
Gonzaga also won the first varsity 4 in 8 minutes and 7 seconds, 2 seconds faster than Wazoo, as well as 2 additional races. As for the third varsity 8, WSU was able to come out on top for that race. Despite the loss, La Riviere said the team gained valuable insight ahead of next weekend's Big Ten Invitational.
WSU has finally named an athletic director after a 5-month search. WSU President Betsy Cantwell announced John Harlow as the new WSU Vice President and Athletics Director April 7th. Harlow has 5 years of experience here at WSU, along with a total of 15 years in college athletics. He originally joined WSU in 2021 as the Senior Associate Athletic Director and Chief Financial Officer for WSU Athletics. In 2022, he became the Assistant Vice President for Business and Financial Services. In July 2024, he came back to Cougar Athletics as the Assistant Vice President and Senior Deputy Athletic Director, as well as the Chief Operating Officer. Harlow has served as the interim AD since November after Ann McCoy was dismissed by the university. He has since made a direct impact on Cougar Athletics, directing the hiring of football head coach Kirby Moore and head soccer coach Chris Chidovitsky.
Head coach David Riley will have to completely rebuild Washington State's men's basketball team as every player has either entered the transfer portal or graduated. The transfer portal opened Tuesday, April 7th, and 10 players have decided to take their talents elsewhere. The group includes leading scorer Ace Glass, Herhards Favors, Andy Okafor, Emily Yalaho, Emmanuel Ugbo, Thomas Thrasterson, Case Wynot, Parker Jarretts, and Brunel Madzo, who arrived last fall and used the redshirt option. Lastly, junior guard Jernone Morton announced he is entering the portal, completing the mass exodus for Riley and his staff, who finished last season 12-20. WSU now faces a full rebuild this offseason as Riley and his staff look to rebuild for the next year.
With the end of the school year coming up, Cougar Athletics will still remain underway. Baseball will face Gonzaga at Bailey Brayton Field April 21st, followed by a 3-game series against New Mexico April 24th to the 26th. Then, to kick off May, the Cougs will face Fresno State at home May 1st to the 3rd. Men's and women's golf will both compete in their own West Coast Conference Championships in Fairfield, California. The women's team will play April 25th to the 27th, while the men's team following them playing until May 1st to the 3rd.
Tennis will play in the West Coast Conference Tennis Championships in Fairfield, California as well, April 23rd through the 25th. Track and field will be running in the WSU Cougar Classic here in Pullman April 24th, followed by the Peyton Jordan Invitational in Stanford, California, May 1st.
Volleyball will play in their last exhibition match of the spring semester on April 25th against U of I in Pullman at Bowler Gym. Soccer will also host their last exhibition match against U of I April 22nd at the Lower Soccer Field in Pullman.
The rowing squad will compete in the Winchell Cup against OSU May 2nd, held at Dexter Lake in Oregon. Afterwards, they will race in the WCC Championships May 15th and 16th. Thanks for watching. Want more WSN content? Follow us on all our social media at Wazoo Sports Network on Instagram and TikTok, and at Wazoo Sportsnet on X.
Also make sure to like and subscribe to Cable Late Productions on YouTube for more amazing content like a new episode of Crimson Corner.
And our merch store is live. Click the link in our Instagram bio to see all the WSN swag available for purchase. Once again, I'm Jet Hector.
And I'm Eli Wink. It was our delight to be your host today, and we'll catch you next season.
Right here, only on CougZone.